1962 and 63 were truly memorable years in the history of the world's oldest and greatest road race, the TT. Just one of the high points of 1962 was the first ever 50cc TT, which saw the German Kreidlers and Japanese Hondas racing wheel to wheel for 2 laps at amazing speeds, and sounding like this. But winner of the first 50cc TT at over 75 miles an hour was Ernst Degner's Japanese Suzuki. And here it is. On the same Friday we had the senior TT, which looked like being yet another win for MV. Hot favourite was Gary Hocking, who told me some of the problems of riding the Big Four.
It's got so much power that it just throws you all over the place. It's really hard to hold down. And you find yourself thundering along these straights and arriving too quick everywhere, and I'm afraid around here there's no place to be making mistakes.
Sure enough, Gary won his last TT. And here he is during his brilliant record lap at 105.75. All the remaining leaderboard positions in the senior were taken by Manx Nortons, led by Ellis Boyce. Now from 2 wheels to 3 for the wonderful sidecar TT. For the first 2 laps, it was Max Deubel's BMW all the way, including the first ever sidecar lap at over 90 miles an hour. The German twins sounded invincible. But on the last lap, Deubel's BMW blew up, and home to victory roared Chris Vincent and Eric Bliss on their BSA Watsonian. The first sidecar TT to be won by a British outfit since 1954. It was a foregone conclusion that a Honda 4 would win the 250cc TT, but who would be riding it? The man everyone expected to win was record lap holder Bob McIntyre. What did he think, though?
Well, I should think this year I'll have as good a chance as I had last. There doesn't appear to be very much opposition to the Hondas this year, but I think it's an open race. There's about 4 or 5 others, all capable of winning.
Bob's Honda sounded perfect on his first lap, a scorcher at over 99 miles an hour. On lap 2, though, McIntyre retired, to leave Derek Minter and Jim Redmond battling for the lead on their Hondas. Listen to Minter's Honda screaming past the grandstand to take a winning lead as Redmond drew into his pit on the 5th lap. For the second year running, Hondas took the first 5 places in the 125 TT, headed by Luigi Taveri. Here he is on his record lap, the first at over 90 by a 125. The junior TT was the most exciting of all time. with Mike Hailwood and Gary Hocking riding 350cc MV4s against Tom Phillis and Bob McIntyre on the new 285cc Honda 4s. On the first lap and well into the second, Gary, Mike and Tom were right together. Listen to the 3-4s at Windy Corner and Bray Hill. Then tragedy struck Phillis, and on lap 3 McIntyre retired, but Hocking and Hailwood were still together even through their pit stop. After 6 wheel-to-wheel laps, Mike Hailwood won his 4th TT in 2 years by 5.6 seconds, with a record lap at 101.8. What better way to end then than with the sound of Hocking and Hailwood blasting their MVs as one past the grandstand to start their last epic lap. That's the sound that every TT rider dreads, the Douglas foghorn. It means mist. Mist that delayed the start of the 1963 125 TT. But eventually the race began and was dominated by the new twin-cylinder Suzuki two-stroke. Here's Hugh Anderson's winning Suzuki during his record lap at 91.3 miles an hour. In the junior race, 3 different makes of 4-cylinder machine competed in a TT for the first time. MV, Honda and Gilera back again after their 1957 withdrawal from racing. Here's what world champion Jim Redman thought of his Honda in comparison to Mike Hailwood's MV.
Well, of course, I think it's a terrific motorbike. It's quite a difficult bike to ride around here because it's very small and light and goes very fast. So it's quite hard to hold down. I think the MV, although it's slower, would be easier to ride.
For the first 2 laps, Redman and Hailwood, who started together, had a terrific scrap for the lead and were as close as this. But on lap 4, Hailwood retired, so Redman won after a dogged ride in terrible weather. Second, far behind, was John Hartle's Gilera. Third for the second year running was Franta Stasny's Jawa twin. In Monday's 250 race, Jim Redman on a Honda 4 won his first TT. Second was the brilliant Japanese rider Fumio Ito on this new two-stroke Yamaha twin. One of Ito's teammates, Tony Godfrey, crashed at over 130 miles an hour and was gravely injured. Fortunately, though, this helicopter was available for the first time in TT history. So only 18 minutes after crashing, Tony was in Ramsey Hospital, his life saved. Now here are two more new sounds from the 250 TT. First, the bike that finished third, Bill Smith's Honda twin production racer. And here's the first new British production racer for far too long, the impressive 250 two-stroke Greaves. Friday's 50cc event was the first TT to be won by a Japanese rider, Mitsuo Ito on a Suzuki, and brought an amazing new record lap by his teammate Ernst Degner at nearly 80 miles an hour. In the senior TT, John Hartle on his Gilera started 10 seconds ahead of Mike Harewood's MV. But at Sulby Bridge, only 20 miles out, the two fours were together. Riding superbly, Hartle managed to stay with Harewood for over 2 laps. But Mike was in a class of his own and won easily at record speed with a new record lap at 106.4. And how did he think Count Augusta would feel about his defeat of the Gileras?
I think he'd be standing on his head with glee.
Now, I can't let the 63 senior pass without mentioning Mike Duff's brilliant ride to finish 4th at 99.3 on this G50 matchless. Finally, a really fruity noise to round off memories of a wonderful TT year. Sidecar winner Florian Camathius's FCS just ahead of Fritz Scheidegger's BMW, which finished second.